here, and I've got a very special video response for Stefan, aka stschmalhaus. And in this video response, this rather lengthy video response, I'm going to be showing you how to cook a quiche, which is a French recipe, although my version of it probably isn't that French. In fact, if this was a better channel, a more high quality and educational channel, I would have all sorts of beautiful pictures and music, much like Stefan would, and be extolling the history and the virtues and where the quiche is from and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, you just got you got to deal with me, and it's going to be about 20 minutes me bumbling around the kitchen putting together this quiche. I actually thought it was kind of funny, but maybe that's just me. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, guys. Just a fun video. This is definitely not going to replace the usual agenda, but for the time being, enjoy this humble quiche recipe from my house to yours. Alright guys, so the first step to putting our quiche together here is going to be making our crust. And you could use a store-bought crust, but homie over at BladeReviews.com, we don't play like that. We like to make our crust from scratch, and it's actually very simple, so let's do that. But before I get too far along, I prefer to have like a nice French wine with this, especially while I'm making it. But all I got right now is just some Miller Lite. So we're gonna crack open a Miller Lite, have a little sip here, and we can go about our business. Sorry for all the traffic noise, guys. I live on a busy street, so this is going to be a noisy quiche recipe. But let's put together a crust. So what you need. Just 4 basic ingredients. You need some flour. You need a cup of flour. And we'll measure that out to our little handy measuring cup. Doesn't have to be perfect, but around a cup of flour. I guess it does have to be perfect since we're baking here. But then we need a 1/4 cup of oil, and I'm using canola oil here. I would not recommend using olive oil. I'd recommend using a neutral kind of oil, because otherwise, your pie crust is going to taste like whatever oil you use. So use a neutral oil like canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever. So a 1/4 cup of that, and then we need a 1/4 cup of water, which I'll just get from the tap here. And then we just need a pinch of salt. I believe it's an 1/2 teaspoon, something like that. So let's see here, what have I got? It's a 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon. And just gonna dump that all together. I put this in my sink, try and keep this kind of clean as we go along. And then I'm gonna bust out a fork here and just mix everything together. You want to get everything well incorporated. You're shooting for a dough-like consistency, like a flaky pie crust. I don't know how many pies you guys make. I don't make many myself, but you'll it's one of those, you'll know it when you see it kind of things. You're going to want to work this into a little dough. And you might need to add a little water or a little flour. I don't think I'm going to need to do either here. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need. Okay, so now that we've got our crust pretty much assembled, and I vacuumed all the flour that I dumped onto the floor, we're ready to roll out our pie crust here. And yeah, I've got that vacuum cleaner on standby, so what you want to do is get yourself a rolling pin, or if you don't have a rolling pin, you can just use like a whiskey bottle, which is what I'm going to be doing here. And you want to roll out your dough to the best of your abilities. We're going to be filling a 9-inch pie pan here, so we want to get it as good as we can. This part's a little tricky, so we might be using the magic of video editing here to skip on through this, but you just kind of want to work it out. You want to get it thin, and you want to don't let the crust master you. You want to be the master of your crust. So if it gives you a hard time, just walk away for a second. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I pretty much got my crust rolled out, and I'm sort of piecing it together. It kind of fell apart, and you know what? That's not the first time that's happened to me, so it's not a big deal. So what you just want to do is you want to take the little pieces and just put it together. It's going to turn out fine once it's all cooked. Okay guys, so the next step here is to sharpen our knife. Of course, being BladeReviews.com, we had to get a little bit of knife action in there. And I've just got my 6000 grit King Waterstone that's been soaking, and we're just going to give it a quick touch up. It's actually already really sharp, but you know, you want to keep your blades in good shape. I'm just going to give this one just a quick hit on the stone here. So, and the kitchen knife I've got is actually a Frederick F. Dick 8-inch chef's knife, and this thing is made in Solingen, Germany. Paid 50 bucks for it on eBay. I got the deal of a lifetime. This thing is sharp. This is excellent steel. I forget what kind of steel it is. It's something kind of weird, but it keeps a great edge, and it will make easy work of any vegetables and stuff that I'm going to be tackling for this particular dish. So yeah, have a sharp knife, guys. A sharp knife is a safe knife. That's always important. Okay guys, I have to apologize. I actually lost a bunch of really good footage. It actually wasn't that good, but it was footage that was crucial to the recipe. Basically, I was showing what I was going to put in my filling, and I've got a little bit of garlic, I've got some green onion, I've got some yellow onion, I've got some bacon, and then I also had a potato that was my last potato, and you'll see it in the next footage, but basically, I lost all the parts where I was chopping everything up. It was pretty boring, but basically what I wanted to do was I chopped the potato nice and thin slices, and same with the onion and the green onion, and then I minced the garlic up, and I threw some bacon on the stove, and I started to cook the bacon. So yeah, you didn't miss much, but that's what I was doing. You'll see the continuation of that. I also want to give my shout out right now, and my shout out goes to Average Iowa Guy. And if you guys are enjoying this cooking video, I'm actually having a lot of fun with it, but if you're enjoying the cooking video and you want to see more stuff that's like better done by more talented chefs than me, check out Average Iowa Guy. He does a ton of great recipes and videos. He's making nice like stews, he's making his own bacon, he's doing a bunch of really cool stuff. And he's also a knife nut too, so he covers a lot of interesting knife topics. Check out the link to his channel below. Alright guys, so I got my bacon cooking here. I just flipped it a few minutes ago. Anyhow, bacon's looking good. We've got all of our other ingredients pretty much prepped and ready to go. I could probably clean that knife off. And so I put the garlic in a separate bowl because I'm actually going to cook it not at the same time as the onions and potatoes. I'm going to put it in towards the end. Now I just want to call y'all's attention to my collection of spices here. And I know it's a pretty impressive collection of spices. Some of you guys are probably going to wonder, you know, Dan, I'd love to learn a little bit more about these spices. Let's see some spice reviews. Guys, I don't know. If this cooking thing takes off, I might just be doing some spice reviews for you. We'll do like the BladeReviews.com. We'll get the domain. We'll set up a Facebook page. We'll do the whole thing. So stay tuned and you know, let me know if you want some spice reviews. Alright guys, so we got our bacon there. It's looking pretty crispy. It's actually pretty thick stuff, so it took forever to cook it, but I think we're pretty much where I want it to be. I don't know about you, but I like my bacon pretty crispy. So I'm going to pull it out, put it on some paper towels here, let these bros drain a little bit, and let them, you know, fully crisp up. And then what we've got here, though, the important thing, and I want to show this to you, so you see that. You see we got a bunch of good grease down in there, a good amount of... I mean, some guys will say that's probably too much grease, but it's French cooking, and you know, what the heck, it's a special video response. I'm just going to use all of it, and then if there's just too much left over, I can drain it out after. But I'm going to fry up all my potatoes and onions, and also my garlic in this grease, and it should be pretty flavorful. Now, speaking of, I know I already kind of spoke about the spices, but I never really mentioned what I was going to put in this. And I'm going to do a little bit of salt. I got a little bit of sea salt here. A little bit of sea salt. And I do this to taste, so if in 5 minutes or whatever I feel like it needs more salt, I'll just add more salt. But do some salt, I'm going to do some pepper. I like a lot of pepper actually. This is always dangerous. This is where you get too much. No, that's good. So I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in there. And I'm going to do a little bit of chili powder, I don't know if they do a lot of chili powder in France, but I'm going to do a little chili powder. And I think that's pretty much it. Just kind of a simple, this is going to be a very simple seasoning mix. And I'm just going to let the ingredients shine here. And should be pretty good. So, oh yeah, it smells nice and good. I think that's going to be it for the seasoning. So I'm going to let these cook down for a while, and then we will add our garlic and move on to the next step. Actually, this is a good time to turn your oven on, and we're going to set this at 450 degrees to start. Okay guys, I wanted to include you in this special moment. This is the ceremonial cutting of the bacon, and hopefully I don't block this shot too much, but I'm just going to give it a nice, oh, I got bacon flying everywhere, you got to be careful. Just give it a nice little chop. I like big pieces of bacon in my quiche, you know, I don't want to mince it up, I don't want to hide the bacon, I want to showcase it, and if possible even celebrate the bacon in the quiche here. So just a nice rough cut, and like I said, you always want to make a little bit extra so you can have some to just knock on. Damn, that's good. Yeah, if you don't make enough bacon, that's a bush league kind of move, so make sure you make a little bit extra. Okay, and our potatoes are cooking up pretty well at this point. I think I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic to our little saute here. And it might be a little too much oil in there, but I'm just going to run with it, guys. I don't particularly care too much. I'm just going to run with it. And I'm a young guy, so I think my heart can still handle it maybe. And we're just going to, we might drain a little bit of that off before adding it, but we're just going to let that continue to cook. Alright, so we're kind of getting down to the wire here. We're going to do our final assembly, and for our egg portion of the quiche, what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 eggs, and we are going to combine that with some half and half here. So, got my eggs. Oh, and I did drain off a little bit of excess grease from those potatoes and onions. It was just a little too much grease. I actually took quite a bit off, but that's okay. They fried up really nice. You'll see them in a second. So what we're going to do is crack 4 eggs, and I'm just going to drop the shells in my sink for now. Get ourselves 4 nice eggs. I got extra large eggs, but you know, whatever. Large eggs will work. And then I'm going to wash my hands, because it's important to keep washing your hands when you're handling all these various products. And I'm going to just kind of gently get these going. I'm just going to beat them a little bit, mix them up, and then we're going to get to our, make sure you can see what's going on here. Then we're going to get to our half and half. Now this is the part of the recipe where you're probably wondering, Dan, how much half and half do you add? Guys, I got no idea. I just dump some in, and until I'm kind of satisfied with it. That looks good. That might be half of my little thing of half and half here. That's probably plenty. We'll give it just another hit. So this is good. Yeah, that looks good to me. You know, it's not rocket science, guys. It's just you're making a quiche. It's eggs and it's milk. I guess you could use milk. I think cream's going to be a lot better for you. So I got my potatoes and my onions, and I took them off the heat like 5 minutes ago. And you can see I took out a lot of the grease, and they're still warm, but I've never had any issues with it curdling the eggs or anything, so I'm just going to drop them in there. And we're just going to get this show on the road. So you put that in there. You want to kind of maybe mix them up a little bit. And you get your nice bacon pieces. You might want to take one more piece of bacon for the road. The rest goes in there. You don't want to eat all your ingredients before you make the recipe. And then we've got those green onions I was talking about, and we want to incorporate those in as well. So, and then it's just a simple matter of just stirring it all together. And it's real simple. we are pretty much good to go. And I did add a little bit more salt to my potatoes too. You can always add more salt later, but you can't take it away. So what I've got here is my pie crust. And you can see it's not the prettiest crust in the world, but I'm not a pastry chef. So you just spoon everything in there. And it's looking pretty darn good. It's looking good from here, guys. I don't know about you, but you want to make sure that it is evenly distributed. I probably could have done a better job. You know, some people might lay the potatoes down strategically. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, and I forgot a key ingredient, and that is cheese. Jeez. Too many of those Miller Lights, guys. Not enough paying attention to the game plan here. I'm sorry about that. So what I've got is just some great value. You know, it's like Mexican cheese blend. It's just Monterey Jack and Colby cheese, and you want to put a substantial amount in here. And ideally, you'd want to mix it up in that bowl. So, but I kind of screwed that up, and I'm only making one quiche tonight, so we're not going to do it over. But what you do is you just pile some cheese in there, and then you can just sort of, maybe you can just mix it together like this, and we can salvage this recipe. It's still going to be good. Okay, so I fixed the cheese incident. I actually put a lot of cheese in there. It's going to be totally fine. Part of the deal with cooking is you have to be flexible. Got to be willing to adapt and survive. Otherwise, you're just gonna get destroyed. So here we go. I've got the oven. It's preheated. Got a piece of foil in there from my last cooking adventure, I guess. And you're just gonna set it and forget it. Well, don't forget about it, because in 15 minutes you're gonna need to turn the temperature down from 450 to 350. So yeah, set it and come back in 15 minutes. Okay, so we've been cooking for about an hour now, and after 15 minutes, I turned everything on low, or not low, to 350. And so I did 450 for like 15, and now I'm doing 350 for probably 35, 40 minutes, and it's looking good. Let me show you. It's definitely getting brown in there. I'm gonna bust it out of the oven, and you can see the almost finished product. Yeah, see, that looks pretty good. Got a nice brown crust. How long are you supposed to cook it for? Guys, I really have no idea. I just cook it until it looks like it's done. And as you can see, it looks pretty damn good right there. So this is the part of the recipe where you want to let it sit. You want to leave it alone for at least I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. Let it cool down, and then we'll cut this bad boy up. Okay, guys, so here's the moment of truth. Let's cut this thing up and see how we did. Hopefully I didn't screw it up too much. It actually looks pretty good, despite that whole issue with the cheese. And I let this rest for probably a good 20 minutes. It's still warm. It's definitely still warm, but when I cut it apart, I don't want it to be all liquidy. You want those eggs to set up. It's set up nicely. So I'm giving myself a nice big slice here. I'm pretty hungry. Worked up an appetite making this quiche, and let's see. I want to be careful. Try and get a nice money shot here. Try not to screw this up. Let's see. Get on in there. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, you guys getting that? Oh yeah. Looks like the quiche didn't turn out so bad. All right, I hate to torture you guys like this, but the smells pretty good. Let's do a quick taste test, and then we'll regroup for some final thoughts. How's that sound? Let's see. I got a little fork. Get the knife going on here. I'll let you know what I think of this. Oh gosh, that is excellent. That's a really nice quiche. I like the potatoes. I don't know if that's a thing that people like to put in their quiches, but I like it a lot. It turned out really good. So this is a delicious and fully functioning quiche recipe. Thanks for making it this far, guys. All right, we'll regroup for some final thoughts. Okay, guys, so I just ate that quiche, and I have to admit I thought it was pretty good, and just wanted to give you some final thoughts. First of all, thank you so much if you made it this far. I know it's going to be probably like a 20-minute long video, so quite a lengthy video. I apologize, but having looked at some of the footage, I thought some of it was pretty funny, actually. I thought it was actually pretty good considering, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoyed putting it together. I've been wanting to do a cooking video for a while, and so Stefan, thanks a lot, man, for the awesome contest. Really cool of you to put that on. Congratulations on 2 years of YouTube success. Hope you enjoyed this video, man. I certainly enjoyed putting it together for you guys. And yeah, that's it. So take care. Be safe, everybody. I'll be back soon. I'll be doing some knife reviews, maybe after I wake up from a quiche-induced coma.